Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the ASI. This is their part number 8155. This is a extension sleeve for their 8154 specimen pass-through cabinet. It's really brilliant that they make this available because most walls are thicker than, you'd really like to have when you need to add a specimen pass-through cabinet. And the options when you get outside of the standard wall construction, 3 5/8 metal stud, a couple of layers of rock, you start to have trouble. Your options become smaller. This sleeve is going to allow you to work an 8154 up to a 9 7/8 wall depth, 5.5 to 9 7/8. Now the 8154, and I'm pulling it up on a screen here, that's going to work for up to 5.5. As skinny as 1 3/4. I mean, you're obviously going to be installing it into something if it's that thin. So I happen to have an 8154 here, but let's take a look at the 55 first. This is going to permit you to basically trim off the opening. Overall width about 13 3/8. Overall height about 12 7/8. You can tell that it's not symmetrical. Overall depth of the unit, it's about 5.5. To the back of that trim, it's going to be about 5 1/4. Okay. It's going to include these screws. These screws are literally for your face mounting. Okay. So this gets really super simple. When you order an 8154, it's got the fixed side. It's going to always include this wall flange. Okay, that wall flange is going to fit right down there, and you're going to trim it off. That's it. You're just going to slide this down to be whatever the wall thickness is. Okay, you might be looking at an installation where you've got a lot of it projecting, if you have a really thin wall, or you might just not have much projection at all if you've got a typical 4 7/8 wall. Probably look closer to that. Well, in an 8154 application, you're going to get rid of the opposing wall flange. Then, of course, you're going to bring the 8155. You get the concept of how that works. Super simple. Couldn't be easier. Depending on what you're dealing with in terms of wall thickness, you might have a substantial recess. Okay? Or perhaps not. If I'm going to flush this off, there would be no reason to really buy this, except, if you're trying to get to a 6-inch wall thickness, that would be pretty tragic if you needed to buy this for a 6-inch wall thickness. So, compressed all the way down, you're at 5.5. Brought all the way out so that it's flush. Let's say that it's got a 1/2 inch margin. I'm just going to measure this here in front of me, and I'll tell you what it is. So if you're gonna get it to its maximum of 9 7/8, you're going to have a total recess of about 4 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so that dimension of how far you're going to be recessed in is about 4 3/8. Okay, however, there are other options in the market when you have a substantially thick wall. The fact of the matter is those options for a thicker wall are noticeably more expensive. And like I said, this is a great concept to be able to work with a thicker wall. Okay, simple and straightforward. Obviously the same stainless steel as the 8154 is. Typical material. There is a link below this video to a document called Cut Sheet where you can review what the 8155 looks like, going over the dimensional properties that I gave, the specification that you might use if you were writing a specification, or needing to convey what you had expected, what you expect of the material to a spec writer, or including that in your construction documents. There's an installation paragraph there. It really couldn't be easier. They give information on what your cutout needs to be, when you're using this material. That would be instructions coming right out of the 8154 installation as well. And operation is there. Sleeve extends cabinet profile through wall to provide clear access to door. Door inside extension sleeve will only open 90 degree and will be returned by internal extension spring when released by the user. Interlocked compartment doors will still preserve their privacy by preventing opening of opposite door until first door is fully closed in the same manner as the standard unit. This affects nothing except that on the side you're going to potentially be quite limited as to the ultimate degree of opening. And you might be able to be restricted down to just 90 degree, which really means that you are going to encroach into the usable space slightly because you can't get that opened out further. So if you're going to be right at 90 degree, you get the concept that your usable space is going to be a bit reduced, other than being able to tip it out this far, but not really. That's the specimen tray that's there, that's included with the 8154. Okay, finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the ASI products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Any questions on the ASI 8155 extension sleeve for the 8154 specimen pass-through cabinet or any other ASI product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.